Okay, so today we're visiting the Taichung Jade Market. This is the intersection that it's on. It's on the corner of Zhonggang and Wenqinlu. And this is two of the busiest roads in Taichung. And I always show scooters and whatnot when I'm on my bike, but I don't often show it just standing in it. So in the larger intersections, you've got a cop directing traffic from the center. Once it gets to be election season, you see cops even more. And we're coming up on election season, so you'll start to see them even at the minor intersections. It's just sort of an expression of political clout and being like, hey, don't forget, you should elect us because we keep you safe. One thing that's kind of cool that you're not really going to be able to see a whole lot of, I'm going to try and zoom in on this one over here, but actually I've got one next to me. The walk sign is going to give you a time, and then this don't walk sign is going to give you a time. Now, you don't have a whole lot of leeway here. Actually, in the States, you'd see a walk, and then you'd see don't walk, and it would start to flash, and you got about 20 seconds, and then the solid, then you really shouldn't go. Here, it will just go from walk to don't walk, and as soon as it tells you don't walk, you got about 10 seconds to get off the street. One cool thing about Zhongganglu that you're going to be able to see here is that there's this sort of side lane, which is about 2 lanes of traffic. It's often filled with buses, and scooters have to stay in this side lane. The main road, which is out there, is a 3-lane road, and the only thing allowed out there are larger vehicles like cars and buses and things like that. So, nice. Don't see many of those. There's a Honda. Scooter cop, nice. And one of many taxis in the city. So, there's an apartment building right up there. There's more apartment buildings right there. There's a Amart across the street, and we're gonna make our way over now. And actually, this is right in front of the Mercedes-Benz dealership, which Mercedes-Benz smart cars, which I think are becoming more and more popular worldwide, but even more so in Taiwan. They're just little guys, and it works really well for a place where this is what scooter parking looks like. So you can imagine how much fun it is to park a car here. The red line that we see on the road here means you cannot park. And yet, here's one car that's parked and another car that's parked. And this one has got a driver in it, so technically it's standing, not parking. This one has no driver. It's 100% illegally parked, and this is not uncommon. This isn't even a little bit uncommon. This is actually extremely common. So, I can't seem to get the sign from where I'm at, and I don't really want to get hit by traffic, but actually there's no traffic coming. Let's see. Here we go. It's the Taichung Big Jade Market. You can't see it from around that corner, but whatever. So this is it. This is the Taichung Jade Market. And not everything they do is jade. They'll randomly sell just rocks and stones and such, but we're pretty much going to go aisle by aisle, and I'll just show you kind of what they've got here. Little crystal balls, little bracelets. You can find a variety of quality here, which is one thing that I think is really cool about it. If you want a little stone bracelet for, you know, $1.50 US, about 50 NT, you can do that. Want some old, or at least seemingly old Chinese coins, you can get those. It's one of the statues of different carvings out of stone. You can. These are really big here, and it's something of note that I think is noteworthy. Jade is different. Anytime you see a really dark green jade, like you take these guys here for example, that's shit. It's not going to be real. Then you've got a really nice kind of pearl jade, which you see with these guys. where it's, you know, you've got lighter green, you've even got white jade, like pure white jade. But yeah, there's a variety of different colors and spectrums and whatnot. These, I'm not sure. They look a lot like prayer beads, but I don't think those are prayer beads. Yeah, see, 50 NT for basically rip-off jade. It's not real. It's just a rock that looks similar. Tiger eye. Variety of different this and that. Oils, I have no idea what they are. And of course teapots, which actually I might pick my friend up a teapot here if I can find one that's decent quality. Now, buying a teapot is it's interesting. Basically, you want the ceramic or the terracotta or whatever it's made of to be really sort of, the thinner the teapot, the nicer the teapot. Let me put it like that. So, like this one's not bad. My zipper's getting on their pots. Yeah, some of them are going to be a lot thicker, and that's kind of how you know you don't really want to buy those. Though in the West, we probably wouldn't really notice. Cute. A sword made of Chinese coins. All kinds of little stuff. Metal and rings and more bracelets, more everything. A vendor just snoozing. I mean, it's really funny. Like, this might be a time to address that crime is not a particularly big issue here. It's just really not. Yeah, geodes, really big ones, smaller ones. But we're pretty much going to just continue to see the same stuff throughout this place. I mean, if you're looking for something made out of a rock, that's you know, semi-precious. We're not talking anything too crazy. But you know, when I say semi-precious, there's items in here that are a good. What's this? This looks like some lapis. My mom's a big fan of lapis. And then even, I don't know if this is or not, this is like a darker lapis. Or something different. More teapots. Guys hanging out doing tea service, which is big here. These are, okay, these are cool.
Sorry, no photo.
No photo?
Sorry.
Oh, okay then. That's interesting. I've never had anybody in here tell me no photos of this stuff. So, that's very strange. And now, of course, she was the only one I saw that had that, so I'm actually kind of bummed because I wanted to show what stone punches look like. I'm sure I'll find another place that isn't as anal retentive about such things. Yeah, that's pretty wild. You pretty much never get told that outside of a major department store or 7-Eleven or something like that, that you can't take pictures. Yeah, you're always gonna. I'm really gunning for a punch. It's too bad that I can't seem to find one in here. So anyway, nobody here signs their names to things. It's all done by these things called punches, which are basically stamps. And you can buy a cheap, crappy piece of wood and get a stamp. But you can also buy like a really nice jade or lapis lazuli and get a stamp engraved on that. And it's sort of strange because anyone then that has, okay, here's some thread and prices stuff. Anyone then that's got a stamp with your, or a punch with your stuff on it. This is sort of like a punch. It's a blank punch on the bottom. You keep it on a key ring. And then you'd have to take it somewhere to get it engraved. But, hello. See, but then all of a sudden you got other people who are really nice, who are perfectly happy to have you photograph their stuff. Let's see. So, oh yes, I don't know if I finished that thought or not. I kind of got distracted there. So if you've got one of those punches and you got the stamp on it and it's your name, anybody who's got that punch that's your punch can go and can basically go and use it and sign your name to anything they want to. So there's not really like a whole power of attorney here. Is a little bit more on the side of it's not as strict. Let's put it that way. So anybody who's got your stamp, who uses your stamp to sign something, you effectively just signed it. So one way, oh, here we go. Here's a variety of different punches. Wooden and stone. Very cool. And then these are even larger statues, larger punches, things like that. Some metal bowls, mostly bronze and things like that. You get a lot of random bronze statues too. You have a lion here, and Buddhas, and these are pots of money. And actually, it's a piggy bank. You actually put coins in right here. A lot of this stuff is for temples and things like that. More statues, more this and that. So yeah, back to punches. Punches, you're essentially dealing with when it gets engraved and your name gets laid on it. Oh, this is pretty. When your name gets put on stuff, they'll write it in a very specific way. That way, somebody can't just get your name written to a stamp and then stamp your name and say, oh, well, it's his. Actually, no, it has to be, they'll even flaw the character a little bit and add some accents to make it different. So that's one way that they do protect individuals against identity theft and things like that. Old coin collections. These are really cool. I just want to show this off real quick because this is one of the nicest I've seen in a while. This is an ink palette for calligraphy. And basically you take some water and a stick of ink and you just grind it against the rock right there. I don't even want to touch it because it's so nice. And then it bleeds down these veins and into the little inkwell area here, and then you write with it. Really old currency. Wow, this is from way back. Old China kind of stuff. Random stuff. I got Peruvian money here. We got Argentinian here. Yeah, lots of different money. Lots of. Unless I'm in. Wow, that looks like Shakespeare on some money. And Beethoven in the back there. I have no idea who printed that. As I have said with other places, it's buyer beware here. So as long as we're talking, ooh, this is an old Tai Chi sword. Maybe a few different old Tai Chi swords actually, come to look at them. Or hypothetically, they just look old. You never necessarily know. So, talking about jade, because this is the Jade Market, so I guess I should address that. You know the quality of the jade that you're buying based in its translucency. I don't know if that's really a word, but I'm using it. You want to take jade, and I'm not going to do it with any of these pieces since I'm not buying it. I don't want to be a dick. But basically you take jade and you hold it up to a light and you see how well light passes through it. And that tells you about the quality of the jade. If it doesn't let any light through, it's shit and it's fake. Another cane, another sword, more statues, more punches, more. Prayer incense, prayer rattles. Monk. Love a monk. Monks are great here. They're super cool. Nice. Just more teapots, more of everything. Very cool. Classic, very old school opium pipes. More dragons, more punches, more. But yes, this is a place where you can find anything you want, but be careful what you buy, because quality differs, and I would never go and say something terrible like they'll want to rip you off. That's not really, you're not going to get necessarily fleeced here, but at the same time it sort of is seen as your responsibility to know what the hell you're looking for here, and not if you buy something that's shit, then that's your own little problem. These are all. I have not touched a teapot so far that's not. Ooh, this one's real nice. Yeah, that's not some decent quality, but most of these are probably running you. The smaller to mid-range ones are probably somewhere around 10 or 15 US dollars. And actually, for a Sunday, it's not bad in here right now. Cool.
Do you want to taste our Taiwan real green tea? There, it's free. It's okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. So let's check out the tea service. So 400 NT for 150 grams. The higher end stuff's gonna be 500. So 400 is around 12 bucks. 13 bucks. 500 is close to 17.
This is Alisan Oolong green tea.
Okay.
It's high mountain tea. I think you can taste.
Nice. My hands all shaky. I always hate taking these little teas. I'm putting you down.
Would you like this?
Yeah, I don't usually drink tea, but this is really good. So, you said this is high mountain tea.
Yeah. These teas have Alisan Oolong green tea and Sunny Sea Oolong green tea, and then have this Oolong green tea and Darjeeling green tea. But this Alisan, Sunny Sea, and Alisan Darjeeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's not just flavor; it's also aroma, the smell of it, the taste of it. There's a lot that goes into it. And then you can see she's timing it, so it's not just, you don't boil the tea, you steep it, and you gotta have it for the right amount of time and things like that. And even when you make it, you don't want to. Often the first run, the first steep will just get dumped. They won't even drink it. It's a quality thing. It tends to be a little too strong, or you're almost like washing the tea for the first rinse, and then after that, it'll steep for another 10 or 15. This is a really light and airy green tea. I haven't had any that are. I've had some that are this nice, but it's almost to the level of what we would consider white tea, which is a very immature tea leaf. Tea. Basically, you've got four major levels of tea. You've got white tea, green tea, oolong tea, and black tea. And as we go down those stages, the older it gets and the more fermented the leaves get. So black tea is the most fermented, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily shit either. It's just the kind of flavor that you like. There's actually some black teas that are really expensive. These teas, for the most part, are on the pricey end, but you're also buying small packages of them. If you buy it in bulk, I mean, there's tea in this country that will cost you like $70 a pound. So I'm shaking really bad today. I haven't eaten anything today, and I don't think I've ever shared with my viewers that I have essential tremor, but I do. Oh, that is a really light tea. Alright, I should probably move on. I'm going to thank her and say goodbye. I have to keep taking it, but thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty classic. You'll get, especially if they speak a little English, they're even more interested in saying hello to you. If my Chinese was better and I could ask about these products a little easier, then that would make it a better experience in here for me as well. Teacups. Wow, that tea was good. I've still got it. I still got the taste on my tongue. Ooh. This is Chinese chess, and I have absolutely no idea how it's played, but as opposed to being played on the boxes and the squares themselves, it gets played on the axes where the lines intersect. So, and they're played with chips as opposed to actual. Each one has got a different character and a different meaning, and but it's chess. It's just a different form of chess. Well, this is cool. Usually I don't see clutches and bags in here. At least since the last time I was in here. Which was a long time ago, actually. It was probably about 2 years ago. More punches. Like I said, you got just these, it's a little stone punch. You could get a little, it's either, I don't know, this doesn't, I doubt that's really ivory, but it looks like ivory, so, you know, who gives a shit. Beads, smaller beads, and bigger beads, and more bracelets. I mean, these solid bracelets are huge here. And the nicer the bracelet, the more opulence you've got. It's mostly popular amongst middle-aged and above women. You'll find, because crystal ball, who doesn't need a crystal ball? Yeah, you'll find a lot of 40, 50, 60-year-old women wearing a jade bracelet that costs like as much as my motorcycle. Like it'll be like a $600 jade bracelet. I mean, some of them are just really gorgeous. Gaudy jewelry here sort of goes with the territory. Let's see, again, you can tell here, even just looking at it from a distance, you can see that the green that looks like it was almost dyed green and then polished out, that's not the best stuff. And the white is even harder to tell, because I don't know if that's good or not. I'd have to hold it up to the light to be able to see. So, well, I like this guy's look. Petrified woods. Very cool. And in case, check out the geodes real quick. In case you can't hear it in the background, they are playing Western Christmas music. Even though Christmas isn't really celebrated here. But yeah, it's December, I think 11th today. Ooh, excuse me. A lot of pretty little ornamentations. This is cool. It's a, hopefully you can see this. It's Go, it's Othello, it's a board game. They've carved it up, that's really cool. Crystal stuff, lotus flowers and things like that. Pearls hanging, like sort of, I guess, scrolls or tapestries, depending on how you want to define those. This big fella back here, I'm gonna walk up to him. This is one of the most famous characters, and I should mention in my video, a big shout out to my boy Vance. This is Guan Yu, well, I just screwed up the tone of it. Guan Yu, or however the hell you say it. My Chinese is so bad, but yeah, he's the Brotherhood guy. Everybody knows Guan Yu as the protector of police, military, things like that. Fans, silk fans. At least it feels like silk. I'm assuming it is. I can't close it. Putting you down. There we go. All different kinds of fans. More teapots. More big pots. Spiffy little water things with balls spinning around them. Oh, this one's cool. So those are, I don't know if you can see it exactly, but those are those money pots again, to bring you wealth and fortune and things like that. So that pretty much I've never been in here during Christmas. It's all Christmas music. I don't know how I just noticed that now. I've been in here for the last half hour. A lot of religious stuff. This is very Taoist, and I won't even know all of this stuff, but this, to me, these look like old school wine jugs, and the only reason I would say that is because of the Jackie Chan movie Drunken Master. That's the only reason that I've ever seen those before. These are pretty. They're almost looking like mini coffee tables. They may be for tea service, I'm actually not entirely sure. Wow, this is some really pretty woodworking now. I mean, you look at these, and that's fairly ornate for effectively dollhouse furniture. More coins. They've also got little bells. This is a good place to stock up on your. Oh, boy, have we gotten lucky. written differently. I forget what this one's exactly named. You see this guy here inspecting these bracelets. Yeah, he's using a flashlight to inspect them. I mean, you really got to get intense with this stuff. You got to check this stuff out under light. You've got to. It's the only way to know the quality of it. Even getting down to microscopic levels, the same as we would with rocks and diamonds and things like that in the States. Here in this country. It's very different. It's really beautiful. I like this kind of style of music. See on his right hand, he's got, they're basically picks taped up to the fingers, and then the left hand controls the tonality of the strings almost the same as we would find a whammy bar on a guitar. So tighten them and loosen them to change the tonality. That was a nice little way to end this. We got real lucky there. And then of course, you can't have a venue without some food. So it actually smells like churros, which I know it shouldn't, but you know, whatever. Cool jacket. Alright, so this gives us the end of the Jade Market, and that was pretty much a lengthy walkthrough. That was about a half-hour walkthrough, or a little bit more, which for those of you who just saw the Fengjia video that I took, it took me as long to walk through this little space as it did to go all the way around Fengjia. There's a lot to see in here. There's a lot of stuff to do, and if I was actually really interested in this stuff, I'd spend even more time looking at it. If I was looking to buy, I mean, look at, these are great. These are a whopping 30 NT, which is basically as cheap as it gets. They could be plastic, they could be glass, it's hard to say. But 30 NT is like $1. So, yeah. So, random rock again, you just buy it in bulk. And So yeah, that's the Taichung Jade Market. So hope you enjoyed the tour, and come down and see him, because, you know, while I had one person tell me to turn off my camera, I had another person pour me tea for nothing and chit chat with me and talk to me about stuff, and got to see the, God, I wish I could remember the name of that instrument. There's actually a few different kinds of long stringed instruments like that, so I'm not sure which one it was, but yeah, good stuff, fun stuff. Little Hartford motorcycle, typical 150cc bike. These are fairly standard here. They're little guys. Most of them are little guys, but some of them even littler than others. Another interesting thing, you've got a green license plate and a white license plate. The white license plates mean it's over 50 cc's. The green ones mean it's 50 cc, which also means that it's a 2-stroke engine, so they're smoking more. And you can see, even just walking along, that 4-stroke hundreds or larger have really come into power and come into their own. Most are going to be white plates now. The government's slowly trying to phase out the 50 cc's, but it takes time. They probably won't get them all phased out, I would think, until 2015. And really, if they really were serious about wanting to phase them out, they would do a buyback program. I don't really like these, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. This is a Kimco Quanon. My motorcycle would smoke this thing. It's 150cc, single cylinder, and as you can see from the odometer, it starts to red at 8,000 RPM, which is a joke. Even mine, which is a two-cylinder, it's a V-twin, and it's only pushing what, around 75 cc's per cylinder, which is really low. It taps out at around 14,000. So yeah. Anyway, just talking a little shit on Kimco's design because, well, their motorcycles suck. I'm sorry, it's just the truth. The KTR is my least favorite motorcycle I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, that's the end of that. Traffic's heating up, and I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. This is gonna take a long time to upload. I bet this thing's 2 gigabytes. All right, thanks again.